Hey friend, let's start off with some genuinely exciting news out of Cowboys camp. Sam Williams just ran a blazing 21.4 mph during minicamp, making him the second fastest Cowboy behind CeeDee Lamb's 21.9 mph. That's huge, especially considering Sam's been recovering from an ACL tear that wiped out his entire last season. If you're pumped to see what he can do now that he's back and faster than ever, make sure to smash the like button. It really helps us reach our goal of 14,000 subscribers here on Cowboys News TV. When the Cowboys drafted Sam, it was hard not to get hyped. 6'4", 260 pounds, speed to burn. But injuries and inconsistent play kept him from earning consistent roles, especially on special teams. Now, coming off major surgery and clocking that speed, that tells me he's not just back, he's hungry. Picture this. You've had all the talent, but life threw you a curveball. Now you're stronger, faster, more eager than ever. That's Sam's story. And I've got to ask you, did you expect Sam to hit 21.4 MPHs after a full year off? Vote yes or no right now in the comments. I'm really curious what the real Cowboys fans think. Here's what really matters. Speed doesn't fade overnight, but it's not everything. Cutting, planting, reaction time, it all tests the repaired knee. And here's the kicker. He had nearly a full year to rehab before training camp. That's more time than a mid-season tear usually allows. That extra prep means Sam might be primed to pick up where he left off, or better. Stick around because over the coming chapters, we'll break down why this time might feel different, how he stacks up in a crowded pass rush room, and whether he can finally claim his spot. But first, do you believe Sam's back at full throttle? Hit that yes or no vote below, and if you're excited as I am, don't forget to like and subscribe to Cowboys News TV so you don't miss what's next. When Sam hits that leash this season, you'll want to be first to know. All right, now let's get into what that 21.4 mph number actually means. Because let's be honest, anyone can look fast in a highlight, but when you're clocking speeds like that in an NFL practice setting, it grabs attention for a reason. First off, let's put this into perspective. According to NFL Next Gen stats, only a handful of players hit 21+ mph during in-game action last season, and most of them, wide receivers and running backs. So for an edge rusher like Sam Williams, a defensive lineman, to hit that kind of velocity, that's rare. And when it happens, scouts and coaches notice. Now, I want you to think about something. How often do you see a 260-pound man moving that fast? Not often, right? And the beauty of it is this. When a guy that size brings that kind of speed off the edge, quarterbacks don't get time to breathe. That number, 21.4 mph, means Sam's closing in fast, faster than ever, and that can absolutely change how opposing offenses prepare for the Cowboys. But here's the part I really want you to focus on. Speed is great, but it's the explosion off the line and the ability to bend around tackles that translates speed into sacks. And this is where the coaching staff is watching Sam closely. They're not just looking at that straight line number, they want to see if he's fluid, if he trusts his knee, and if he's confident enough to unleash that athleticism every rep. So, I want to hear from you. Do you think Sam's speed will finally translate into consistent pass rush production this year? Drop a U. Comment and tell me your prediction. Will he crack 6 sacks, 8, or even more? And don't forget, we're just getting started. Next up, I'll break down what Sam's role could look like now that Dan Quinn is gone and Mike Zimmer is calling the shots. Stick with me, because that shift could be a game changer for now 54. Now let's talk about what could be the biggest X factor in Sam Williams' 2025 season, the arrival of Mike Zimmer. Because when a new defensive coordinator steps in, especially one with a reputation like Zimmer's, roles can shift fast. And for a player like Sam, that shift might be exactly what he needs. Here's what you need to know. Zimmer isn't Dan Quinn. His defense is more traditional, less about wide nine chaos, and more about assignment, sound football with strategic aggression. But don't mistake structure for slow. Zimmer still loves pressuring the quarterback. He just does it his way. So, where does Sam fit? That's the question, right? Zimmer's defenses typically ask their defensive ends to set the edge first and rush second. It's a more disciplined role, and some pass rushers struggle with that. But here's where Sam could stand out. Zimmer has always found ways to get the most out of raw, explosive athletes. Think back to Everson Griffin in Minnesota, a player with a very similar athletic profile. Zimmer unlocked him, and he could do the same with Sam. From what we're hearing out of camp, Zimmer is already experimenting with rotations, mixing Sam in on both sides of the line and even trying out some stand-up rush looks. That tells me he's not just trying to plug Sam into a spot. He's trying to unleash him. But here's the key. Sam has to earn the trust to stay on the field on early downs. That means showing he can stop the run, not just fly around the edge. If he does that, then Zimmer will give him the green light to go hunt quarterbacks. So I've got a question for you. Do you think Mike Zimmer is the right coach to unlock Sam's full potential? Vote in the poll or sound off in the comments. I want to know if you're buying the Zimmer effect or if you think Sam was a better fit under Quinn. Coming up next, we'll dive into the Cowboys' depth at edge rusher and what that means for Sam's snap count this season. Stick with me. It's going to get even more interesting. All right, now let's zoom in on something that could either fuel Sam Williams' breakout or hold him back. The edge rusher depth chart in Dallas. Because let's be honest, this group is loaded with talent, and the competition is going to be cutthroat. Let's start with the obvious. Micah Parsons is the headliner, no question. He's going to get his snaps whether he's lined up as a linebacker or rushing off the edge. That's a given. But when you start looking at the rest of the rotation, that's where it gets tight. You've got DeMarcus Lawrence. And look, D-Law may not have eye-popping sack totals anymore, but he's still one of the best run defenders in the league and a vocal leader in the locker room. He's not going anywhere. Then there's Dorrance Armstrong. Well, was. He's gone now, which opens up snaps. But the Cowboys didn't sit back after his departure. They drafted Marshawn Kneeland in the second round, a guy with a high motor and pro-ready frame. And don't forget about Viliami Fehoko, who barely saw the field as a rookie but is still in the mix. Plus, Chauncey Golston can shift inside or out, which adds another wrinkle to the rotation. So where does that leave Sam? He's right in the middle of this pack, maybe even a step ahead. With Armstrong out of the picture, there's a clear opportunity for Sam to step up as that third edge guy behind Micah and D-Law. But it's not just going to be handed to him. He's got Kneeland nipping at his heels, and Zimmer is going to roll with whoever brings the most consistency, especially on early downs. That means every rep in training camp, every preseason snap is going to matter. It's not just about highlight plays anymore. It's about being reliable. So tell me this. Who do you think is the biggest threat to Sam Williams' snaps this year? Kneeland, Fehoko, or someone else entirely? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading them all. Up next, we'll look at the final piece of the puzzle. What Sam has done this offseason to prepare for a potential leap in year 3. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this. So here's the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it could be the one that makes the biggest difference for Sam Williams this year. His offseason commitment. Because when a player's at a crossroads, like Sam is now, you find out real quick how badly he wants it. And from everything coming out of Frisco, Sam is locked in. Reports say he's shown up to OTAs and minicamp in top shape. And more than that, he's been vocal about wanting more responsibility in this defense. Not just more snaps, but more leadership, more impact, more accountability. That's a big shift from the flashes and mistakes version we saw the last 2 years. He's also been working with trainers in the offseason specifically focused on burst and bend, that first step quickness and edge flexibility that can turn pressures into sacks. That's been one of his biggest challenges. He can get close, but doesn't always finish. He's clearly trying to close that gap. But it's not just about physical tools anymore. What stands out is the mental approach. He's been in the building more. He's been asking more questions in meetings. He's not a rookie anymore. He knows this is a critical year. It's do or fade away. And here's something to think about. With Dan Quinn gone and Zimmer taking over, everyone is starting with a clean slate. That could actually work in Sam's favor. Zimmer doesn't have any personal loyalties. He's going to play the guys who perform, period. So, does that mean this is finally the year Sam breaks out? That he puts it all together, on and off the field, and carves out a real role in this? Defense? I want to hear your gut feeling. Is Sam Williams about to make that third-year leap, or is the edge room just too deep? Hit the comments, and let's talk about it. And hey, if you've been with me through this whole breakdown, thank you. Your support keeps this channel going strong. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss what's coming next for the Cowboys. We're just getting started.